Hello, hello, hello. How y'all doing? Can you hear me pretty good? Jason Maldonado said I'm here. The clock is ticking. Anthony Smith said nice, and then it looks like I lost somebody after one person gave a thumbs up. There's still one person in here though. So I know this light is like right here and it's sort of in the view and everything. It's sort of washing everything out right here, but there's actually not much I can do about it. Hey, if I come up real close, you guys can see yourselves in my glasses. Hello, Desi Days. So, but I have the light there so that the yellow, excuse me, my nose is itching, so that the yellow light on the phone camera I'm using is hopefully not needed. And so if it's not needed, I expect the stone's real colors to show out a little bit better than with the yellow. Sometimes the yellow light can sort of wash it out. Thank you very much, Desi. Desi says, nice hair. Hi, Miley. Whoops, wrong thing. I'm trying to turn the camera around and it's doing something else on me. So let me see how good this color shows up. Looks like it's showing up pretty good. I'm going to lower you guys down just a hair. Whoops, that was the wrong one. There's a lot of knobs on this little tripod I'm using in here. I have to have it sort of semi-permanently affixed in order to get it to stay where I need it to be able to carve with it in here. Yeah, I like that lighting much, much better. Grotesque, yes I do. Actually, you should check your comment section in one of your videos. I asked you that exact question. I do have that. Everybody give me 1 second. I'm going to get my son to go and grab that for him. Oh, I just messed up the mic. Sorry about all the muffled banging you guys just heard. Go downstairs and underneath my computer in my work area right there, there's a thick bundle of envelopes with a bunch of other envelopes. Hey, but one of the thick bundles says like, it has a G on it. It says like Grotech or Grotesque or something like that. Bring that one, okay? All right, that's on its way here for you. Grotesque, no problem. No problem, no problem. So this is what we're going to be carving on today. If you weren't here before, this was the fire agate I was carving on in the last couple of videos, trying to basically work this down to one really nice monster fire agate stone. And it's got some cool stuff appearing down here, and I've had some areas where I went through some layers getting a little bit too close because I'm not perfect at this. I'm definitely a novice, and there was an area where I let my burr go a little bit too deep, and I went through a color bar, and I can see another color bar down there. It's actually right inside this crease right in here. You can see the green. I get too close up on the screen and it'll block the lighting. But you can see where I went through the color bars right there in the corner just a little bit, but there's still another color bar underneath of it. So it's not too much of a giant mistake. It's a lot of stone here, and it's right in the corner, so it's easy to not see with the naked eye. But it definitely also gives me an idea of some of the other color bars I have here. Now, not all the colors run like uniform. Like not every color, or not the whole layer is going to be one color. One layer can have different colors flowing through it. Now, sometimes you'll have stones where the single layer running through the whole stone is one single color, but not always. Definitely not always. So Grotesque, your total is $220 plus shipping and insurance. That's what your total is, and if you get that paid tonight, I'm actually running to the post office tomorrow for people because I meant to run there for them today, but I didn't. So I'm going to be using this hand tool right here today, And I really need to trim some of these shafts down. They're so long on these. I'd really like them to be a little bit closer in. But this is also a 120 to 200 burr. Anthony Smith, I did not make it to ship today. I did a whole bunch of family stuff today and cooked dinner for everybody and stuff like that. My wife is away on business and I did not make it today. Not an excuse. I actually didn't leave my house at all. So I will get that in the mail tomorrow. You guys will definitely have it in the mail tomorrow. So I'm using a hog burr on this one, and the reason I'm using a hog burr is because it is the most useful at the moment, and also these burrs I have that graduate the most. I have 4 of these burrs that go from 80, 120 all the way to 600, 800 I think it is on the hog burrs, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's 300, 400 I have on the hog burrs. But I have either 3 or 4 hog burrs. Alright, now what I'm going to start by doing is I'm going to start by cleaning up some of my marks I have in this stone. If you can look, you'll see the way that the water sort of flows over these areas. I have some lines I have in there and stuff from when I was just grinding on this with an inverted cone. So I'm going to clean some of that up, and I'm going to shape some of this stone right here and try and bring out some of that green but not get too close. I definitely want to shape it and get some of the white out of the way but not go too deep at all either, because that's definitely really easy to do with this. Ooh, yeah, that works better. That's definitely easy to do with this. You can see that stone much better with that direct light. Should have done that before. I'm not using a lot of pressure. I'm smoothly just running over the areas that I want to take the agate off with. That 80-20 is real aggressive, and just touching the stone, it makes marks on it. And so with the graduating burrs, with the burrs I use from this point forward, I'm wanting to definitely shape the stone and carve it around the color as much as possible and make it nice and rounded where I can and stuff like that, so the light shines off of the colors evenly. At least that's the idea and the plan. Ouch! Ooh. I let that piece right there get really close on my skin, man. That did not feel good at all. Got to make sure that doesn't happen. Let me cool that off real quick. Ugh, that did not feel good at all. That's the one thing I hate about this one right here. I really do hate that it has, this open area right there. Angled up, please. And left some, says Anthony Smith. Alrighty. Whoops. I didn't realize my tripod top was probably falling a little bit. Yep, didn't realize it was probably falling a little bit. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to stick my hand right on that thing. It's like impossible for me to avoid with the way I'm holding this stone. Yeah. I missed whatever somebody just said right there, but I can tell you that quick release piece I have, that thing is so much nicer to not burn your hand with. I really wish I would have paid attention when I bought this hog version. I would have bought them at the right diameter of shaft. Color's starting to peek out right there though, that's for sure. Now I'm like super concerned with just not burning my thumb off with the rotating steel. Like a huge issue right now for me. Had enough of injuries and damages, man, I tell you what. It's a little bit scary right now getting anywhere around that yellow and green right there though, because it looks like barely touching it and the color's gone. Really nice on top right there, but see the dead spots? That's just from barely touching it, which means that color bar right there is really, really thin, like polishing just to it. It's about all you want to do, or you might completely lose the color. Or dig beyond that layer and hope that there is more below it, which is very, very possible. As I saw with that one area I knocked through. Now that doesn't mean there would be more underneath this, but you get, whoops, back the camera angle up a little bit, and you can see that it's a large hump. And with these colors right there, it's very possible there's much more of that, and it might be even thicker color underneath this. It's also possible there's a giant amount of clear, and that clear goes all the way down to the bottom right there, but I don't think that's what's going on. I do not believe that's what's going on. I always think there's more better color bars in some piece like this, in a piece like this. I'm going to take off some more of this piece right here, this top right here, and maybe some more of this going over the hump on this edge, and possibly flatten out a little bit more of this with this size burr, and then I'm going to switch to a softer one. Switch to one that's not going to cut so deeply. Polish a little bit better, pre-polish more like. my angle just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better, and it's not shading it out like that. Oops. Didn't mean to hit that forward end like that. Not wanting to go too fast because I don't want to damage anything that might be underneath. I already feel like I did that a little bit, but I haven't really tested to find out if there's a lot better under that area right there I was talking about earlier, where I have that little bit of dead spot in that really nice gold and orange and green. But we'll see how this plays out. Not going to worry about very small bits of pieces of a really large stone like this. Not at this stage of the game, that's for sure. Too much good stuff left to worry about to let myself or yourself in a similar situation get distracted by, you know, small stuff. Appreciate that info, Grotech. Tell you what, I have these little patches of white agate that seem to sit right on the color sometimes. If you go right through the white and go through the color, it doesn't seem like there's anything right under that immediately. And I wonder if it's really the best color. I can't wait to find out, to tell you the truth. That's all I keep thinking about. I'm cutting on this, and all I keep thinking about is finding out if there's better color underneath this pinfire on top. I believe there is, but I don't want to go all hog wild yet. What I want to do is get it carved down relatively good and test an area before I make a full-on decision. How's it going, Modern Prospector? If America Died shows up too, I might need to give him his total, because he's got some items that need to be taken care of still. I'm watching the stone though, and it's not usually through the screens. Every now and then I look up and I can see the screen flash with somebody's text. Oh, I'm moving my foot pedal. Different angle. Killing my ankle right now. Thank you, Elizabeth Daniels. Appreciate that. Happened to be a good time to make that statement. I was looking up right then. And in this section at least, there's definitely more fire running underneath that green, that's for sure. There's looks like there's some running underneath this stuff right here. Sort of trying to get the shape of that flash that I see showing up right there to show up here in this direction. That's what I was trying to do, but now I'm wondering if it's going to be possible. This is probably why not too many other people do live fire agate carving videos, thinking it's probably pretty boring. Because I'm sitting here thinking that to myself, thinking how interesting is this to be watching right now when I don't know what to say all the time, and I'm like wondering how I should carve in the next instance myself, getting the shape out of this thing. Tell you what, this 120 to 240 definitely does not eat up near as much stone near as fast as the other one did, as the 80-20. Definitely does not eat up near as much stone near as fast. Definitely gives you more play and more mistake making room. It's a 120 to 240, I believe. Deb Lowell said, not boring at all. Well, that's good. Glad it's not boring. I don't want it to be boring at all. Let's see. Grizzly asked, what's the point of using this shaped burr versus the other shaped burr? And the whole thing would be the shape, in all honesty. Whoops, didn't mean to drop that. It would be the shape. The burr sizes the grit sizes are different, but the angles for where we're carving and what we're trying to get at, that would be part of the reason for using a different shape, is to get at different angles and try and get inside of crevices and stuff like that. Looks like there was a little color on that end, and I might have screwed it up right there. So I'm definitely seeing on that end right there. At the same time, might have been so close to the white that I thought I was going to have more room right there. Oh well, not a big deal. No point crying over spilt milk. See what I can do about bringing out some of this other stuff and getting it shaped for the way the stone wants to come out with a beautiful color. And anything that doesn't look the way I want it to, I just cut that crap off. See, that's what you do, is you carve the best stone you possibly can. If you have some errors in it, then, you know, you get rid of those errors and then stay with the best stone you possibly can. At least in the beginning. Pardon me real quick. Pulling this stone off this side and looking at... I almost want to just rip into that with something tougher until I get through like that 1/8 of an inch or whatever's right there. But I'm not going to at this moment. Nope, I'm not. Go back to this area. I know I need to be using this fur-on. Stay off of that area that I'm a little bit hesitant of. Almost forgot to put my little hand circles in there. Keep that fur moving in circles whenever possible. Keep that nice shape that the stone wants to have naturally. Try not to screw that up. Don't want to make that mistake. Nope, nope. I thought my other computer was going to be here today, and I was super disappointed when ooh, that was hot. Got hot on my hand. I was super disappointed when I checked the tracking information and was let know that it had just left California today. So that sucks. It's not going to be here for a minute. It's got to cross the whole country before it gets here. That sort of sucks too. But it is what it is. Gonna have to deal with it. Wait till it gets here. Hope it's exactly as specified in the listing, unlike the other one. Oh. Ouch, shoot. I'm looking at the white agate right here in the crease and trying to judge the way that orange and gold color is going under it and up. And then I have this brown swirl of agate right there, still trying to get rid of, and it has some pinfire on top. I understand that one. Anthony says keep going. The way that's actually going, looking on the sides, I'm thinking about switching up my burr. Wondering how close I'm getting that color. Actually, I'm going to stay on this area for a minute, and then I'm going to switch my burr up to a less aggressive burr that'll do some more sand, like lightly sanding, pre-polishing, instead of something that might take me a hair too far. I don't like going a hair too far. It sucks. Oh, about to burn my hand again. Just catching myself in doing that. This thing needs to have like a grip thing that goes over the top of it, and then you can hold it like that and not get your hand all friction burned. All friction burned and stuff. Now what would be really awesome is if this kind of broad flash color is sweeping underneath of this pinfire, and I get like a river of pinfire, but then be able to carve through these dead spots down to like really beautiful broad flash underneath of it. That'd be pretty awesome. But we'll see. We'll see what we got. Most assuredly we will. Even if it takes me 50 frickin' videos. We'll see what we got. Although I do need to get some other quickly done stones. I need to get some stones done for my patrons. They've been waiting for a while for their stones. And I want to send them some good stuff too. I definitely like to hook my patrons up really well. Definitely means something when you're pledging, you know, a monthly sum. You know what I mean? Yeah, it definitely means something. So. I need to find out if there is another handpiece that this company makes that fits this other size burr, or I need to contact the company I got these burrs from and get the ones that are the proper size for me. Although these burrs are like $55 a piece or something like that, so it's they're not very cheap at all. No, they're not. Come on, little area of swirly brown agate. Get out of that clear agate spot for me. I'll just have to get that with another polishing one, possibly. Just leave that there for the moment. Polish through that area with another burr. That spot right there If you can see it, let me see if I can get you to see it. There it is. See that little white and brown right above my thumbnail? Well, that spot's what I've been trying to get out while sort of going through this brown and white that's on top right here also. And I'm just not quite getting what I want to, and I'm worried I might end up going through color if I stay with this really aggressive sort of burst. So I want to go over here and sort of shape this and see if there's any luck to be had underneath of that. That's what I want to do. Got a conversation in the message board talking about jade I just saw. Sort of interesting. I know there's a Jade Cove down in California. I have a friend on Facebook that is pretty well known for that. Irish. I was planning on visiting him this winter, but then my hand injuries got in the way, and I'll probably visit him another time. The Gem is their gamer says it's in NorCal, and he would be talking about the same place I was sort of talking about, the Jade Coast, Jade Cove. Is that really North California though? Yeah, it is. I think probably. I'm not sure. I'll let you guys talk about that since he knows about it. Whoopsie. Wonder if my thing is slipping again. Maybe I... Got you guys out a screenshot, put you back in there. I know from what they're talking about with the jade that the guy I know on Facebook that the stuff he shows pictures of from Northern California is just crazy. Blues and talks about reds and greens. I mean, green is obvious for jade, but he has some stuff he says yellow and calls Vulcan jade and all kinds of stuff. Like jade, he's a serious jade hunter for that stuff up there. And Big Sur. That's where he's at. He's at Big Sur. He's going to be on my YouTube channel here in the future. I plan on highlighting him on my YouTube channel. We already talked about me coming down there and highlighting him and the jade that's down there and stuff like that. I was looking at the stone carving away, expecting that the private conversations will carry everything for the moment while I just sit here and go and try and bring out this gemstone. This area right here is being so stubborn though. I almost want a harder burr, but I don't. More aggressive, I should say. They're the same hardness, just more aggressive grit of diamond. Hi, Caleko, says Michael Lines. How you doing, Michael Lines? I can go through the comments and see what was said too. I haven't been through the comments in a while. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of comments. Everybody's talking about all kinds of stuff. Go test. Did you get that total? It was 220 if you're still here. Oh, you were here when I said it earlier. Alright, 220 plus shipping. And you can send me messages and requests through my email address that the PayPal address is. So if you send me requests through there, then, you know, information requests and stuff like that, I can answer any questions that you have. Not a problem. Not a problem, not a problem. Thank you, Modern Prospector, for welcoming everybody. Appreciate that, buddy. Much appreciated, man. I'll just sit here and work and you guys chat. So I got through a little area right there, a little bit different than the rest. Turn that darker brown. Spread that white that was on top for the moment. Don't want to be impatient. Go ahead and get impatient and screw the stone up. That's what happens when you go get impatient. So when you start getting impatient, take a break. Taking a break is better than, you know, screwing up something you're going to love and beat yourself up over screwing up. Uh-oh. I was building up a little water reservoir right next to me and didn't realize it until I had to dump all over my sock. Got 16 of you in the room right now. Hey everybody, thanks for being here. I'm just carving away on this stone, hoping to get some more great colors to peek out. Get the colors to peek out, and the brown and no colors in the agate sort of go away a little bit. That's what I'm attempting to do. Oh, burning my hand too every now and then. Modern Prospect is keeping a good lookout there for me. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you very much. And let me see, let me see. Really focusing on getting close to the color and close to being through most of that brown agate. It seems, one, it's hard. I mean, all the agate's hard, but close to the color. And then I'm going to go down another bird is something that's not even as aggressive as this. That way I don't blow through the color on the other side. When I say the other side, I mean that, where I've got this like white in the corner of, oh, I'm off camera. This angle's not the best, so I'm going to switch it up again. I liked it better before when it was more, sinking too much, when it was more straight on. Yeah, I think I like it better like that. I do believe I do. Question is this almost like two pieces of fire agate formed on each other? The way these bichoroidals are sort of like sitting like that and then run down, is this like another sort of agate that formed on top of them maybe? Has that sort of look. It's a little bit of that look. I am going to dry this off just a tad and then look at it, what it see what it looks like in those areas I've been working on it. Well, that makes me definitely understand that the burr I have is not as aggressive as I thought, that's for sure. Because it's definitely not putting a, it's almost polishing. It's definitely not aggressive at all. I have that in the wrong bin in my fishing tackle box right here. I have that marked wrong, which would make me think that this black one is probably the 100, 200. But I'm not even totally sure. I would actually have to check my Varan core. I'd have to check my Varan core guide. But this one is definitely more on the polished side. So there's nothing wrong with that burr I'm using so much as it's working the way it should. I should just go towards, if I'm going to use this one, I should expect it not to be as aggressive as I expected originally. Definitely going to take more work for it to do the same amount of burning stuff away, but it's putting a nice nice 300 maybe. Yeah, I think this is a 325 to 4. I think that might be what I have right here. I think it might be a 300 to 400 grit. Have a good one, Modern Prospector. Anthony Smith said, new idea, running silent auction email bids for the stone you're working, run the auction for several days through the process. Yeah, no, I'm not into that. For the stones I'm going to work, I'm probably going to have an asking price for stuff like that, not auction it off. If I'm going to put a bunch of work into it, I'm not really trying to give it away for bottom dollar. When we're auctions are usually going to end up being windows and rough. And every now and then there'll be gemstones, but that's definitely going to be a every now and then thing. That might be an idea that I run at some point with a format like that. But in general, not a bad idea. Like, the concept is not a bad idea at all. I do believe the concept is a pretty fair idea. At the same time, like the 1 minute auctions and how they go, that sort of has its own appeal to it, that's for sure. Getting my finger right on that metal again. It's definitely getting my finger right on that metal again. I need my inverted cone for that section right there. Anthony Smith said I'm going to start my own mine tour, 12 mines in a day hiking. Just make sure it's not on BLM land or anything like that, or they got a whole bunch of hoops they're going to have you jump through. Contact them first and maybe you'll be able to make those hoops less. It's very much a possibility. That would be the way to do it then, private land owned by the town. Still, that little swoopty right there is right there. Whoops. Having a problem getting rid of that little thing. I don't want to just make a line, that's for sure. I'm not trying to make just a divot trying to get that section out. Maybe I should just not worry about it and keep working everything. Keep working all this lower area going up to it. Maybe I'll just run it out that way. I have no idea what the plan for the Chalcedony in the corner is yet. It sort of depends on what happens with this area right. What happens with the Chalcedony in the corner depends on what happens with this area right here and the color, and what happens with this area right here and the color underneath this brown. Maybe it goes, maybe it doesn't. Whoops, bumping the camera. Bumping the camera. Maybe it goes, maybe it doesn't. Haven't really made up the decision yet. Depends on what goes on with this color meeting up into it. And I'm still sort of being dainty with the meeting point. Still sort of being dainty with the meeting point, at least in my opinion I am. I'm not just like going for it, carving it out hardcore with an 80-20. Swear, man, that little piece right there is really aggravating me. See a little swoopy right there? Right in the center of the screen, right on top of that green. Color, 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 and then that little swoopy is driving me nuts. That's what I keep going for. It's not really going anywhere. It's really bothering me. It seems to be right where the color meets up. What to do, what to do, what to do. Keep shaping it, keep filing it out with this one. Getting it as close as I can and then move on to the next one. That's what I do. Don't let myself get obsessed with that little thing and end up screwing something up. Michael Lyons says, what's the most valuable stone I've pulled out of the ground? Good question, Michael. I might not even know the answer to that one. I really honestly don't, off the top of my head, don't know the answer to that one. There I go, going a hair too far right there in that area. Right through the clear. Right into something I didn't want to. But at the same time, it tells me again a little bit about the stone. One, avoid that spot right there. That super green is poking through. I'm trying to get through a bunch of this clear right here. It's like clear and whitish cap right there. I'm trying to get through that. Let me kill this light back here and see if that helps the haze. That haze has been killing me. Oh, I see why it's hazy. It's hazy because there's water flying back at it. The camera's like adjusting for the water in the play of that. I have to say too, of all the stones I could try and carve, this is by far not an easy one. And I really need to get some more tools to finish this thing out properly. Some more different shapes of tools. Really what I mean. Well, before the weekend, I don't really have enough Slaughter Mountain to run with at the moment, and my buddy John has not sent me a package yet. We just talked today, though. He's going to put one in the mail for me. So I might have to do a video windowing some pieces to have up for auction from Opal Hill. I haven't been spending a lot of time windowing. I've been spending time doing other things, but windowing has not been one of the things I've been doing recently. So, along that note, I'm going to keep going for some more of this white and clear chalcedony I got on here. Crit Master asked, will a pointer bit go between the bubbles better? I have no idea what he means by a pointer bit, but it's very possible. I just have no idea what he means or what that tool is. Flattened area too right there. I should round this out a little bit. I'm just going over this area a little bit more with this bit, trying to make sure I catch everything on this stone I can really do with this burr. And then once I've done everything I can do with this burr, then I'm going to go on to a different burr that's once again not so aggressive, and I can do some more polishing with, or pre-polishing I should say. Well, that flat spot right there is gone. It wasn't a very big one. Touching up here and there, going just a little bit, taking out some of the lines, trying to get rid of any of my rough cut marks from before. an idea. That's a little bit better, isn't it? Get some of that water off the camera. I don't know the shape of the bit you're talking about, Kirkcal Master. I understand the point you're trying to make, that it might get into creases better, but I can't answer the actual question because I don't know about the tool and the shape of the tool that you speak of. You say a pointer, but I don't know. I've never heard of it being called a pointer. What shape is a pointer? And I'm sure there is one because, once again, I'm a novice at this, guys. So if I make a mistake, you guys get to witness it. Witness it in all its humiliating glory. Can you have glory and humiliation? Sort of an oxymoron, isn't it? Seems to be one to me. Sandy Brown said, explain tips maybe. Oh, that would be good. If I had a better selection of tips. These burrs that I have are not cheap at all. So being that they're not cheap at all, buying 6 of these cost me $300. On that note, when I had the money to spend, I did not have that much to spend, but I spent what I could. And really, I should have like $1,200 or $1,400 worth of carving burrs by themselves. If you see guys like Mark Ruiz, or if you see what is his name? Richard Krakowski. If you see some of their small collections of burrs they have, like, I'm not even in that realm right now. But Mark Ruiz does have some cheaper ones that I'm going to check out and see how well they do. There's some more inexpensive burrs, not quite as expensive as these ones. I keep meaning to get a hold of Chuck if he's anywhere around here. Talk to him about a website, but I never do. I never end up finding the time to contact that dude. I was easily just like buffing up and shaping this stone to the way that it wants to naturally be, getting rid of as much of the white and clear chalcedony on top of the colorful, and the brown chalcedony on top of the colorful as I can, while getting the shape of the fire agate that wants to be exposed underneath, and trying not to go through the color that's there. But I will definitely do a video on all of the fire agate carving tools I can find. Now, explaining every burr, I really won't be able to do that, but I have done a video before on where to get them, or where I was getting them, which is both the Jade Carver and Mountain Mist, which you guys have heard me talk about both of those. Really, I need to get my website started so all you guys can be buying that stuff for me. That's what I should be doing. I don't even own my damn website yet. I actually own a couple of domain names, but I haven't been able to get them up and running yet because I'm not. Time constraints, man. Ability constraints. Can only learn so much. Missed a whole bunch of comments that came in. Probably didn't, just imagined I did. Once again, I got brown on top of this color that's right here, and I'm just trying to get close to the color without going through. And actually, I don't even want to touch the color. I want to just get close to it, because one of the reasons I want to get close to it is you see the yellow and the bronze, and right under that is that green. So you can see the layers right there. There's another color even, or 2 or 3 or 4 even underneath of that, but I want to get to that green. So I want to get above the bronze as close as possible so I can then polish and come up with the green in the polish stages. That's the plan. Running into these sections of agate over here that have this color on top that is barely the white, trying to get the white out of there or the brown out of there, and it's just, you barely touch that and it's clear underneath. Doesn't make me happy, but also makes me hopeful I can carve through that section to find more of this. That's what I'm hoping, if you haven't caught that before. Beautiful close-up of the stone, though. Hard not to like this stuff. If you like opal like I do, I really love opal. If you watch some of my earlier videos, you'll definitely see how hooked on opal I was and really loving opal. And then when I found out about fire agate, man, it definitely switched my addictive love of the stone from one to the other. And not so much that I don't love opal anymore. I do love opal. I still totally love opal, but I like fire agate because of the hardness and not needing to be careful with it a tad more at this point. I'll still collect both of them, don't get me wrong, but as far as like being able to just daily use and stuff, like fire agate's definitely where it's at compared to opal. Opal is just so much more soft, easy to damage, really easy to damage compared to fire agate. Fire agate is much harder, not as heat sensitive. It's a real stone. It's a real stone. Burning my finger again, dang it. Heck, Sandy Brown, you just gave me an idea. Maybe I'll contact Varencore directly. Ask them if they'd like to sponsor videos by sending me whole bunches of expensive ass free tools. Because I already like the tools. Not a question on whether I like the tools or not. Maybe I'll do something like that. That's not a bad idea. We're getting right about at the stage of growth where I can actually do stuff like that and people might take me seriously. Well, I got 6,000 subscribers, you know, that could be more at any time, blah, blah, blah. I watch these YouTubers have like 2 million subscribers, 10 million subscribers. I'm like, holy crap. And then I watch some of their videos. Some of them are just amazing. Some of them I question, but some of them are amazing. That is for sure. Anthony Smith said put their sticker on my green box, right? Actually, the box is gray. The green is foam from, pool noodles in order to have a place I can rest my hands on the side of the box where the reservoir of the water is down here. The box itself is actually gray. Just saying. Definitely gonna have to grab my other shaped tools out in order to finish this thing, that's for sure. Thumb tattoos. That way I can constantly do this guy advertisements. Thumb tattoos, that's funny. I'd rather be wearing gloves, but I can't wear gloves with this this handle. Sort of talked about that last night, that this handle, if I wear gloves with it, it can bind up in there and it can break the flex shaft inside or even hurt you, possibly break a finger or something. Probably not. Probably break the flex shaft first, but anything's possible. Anything is possible at all, right? My first set of burrs I mainly bought inverted cones, and I burned through all of those carving 3 stones. And the first 2 stones, they were so bad that I pretty much didn't do anything with them. And the 3rd stone, my son wears around his neck. And I got lucky on another stone, was completely able to carve it on a wheel. And now I need to buy more burrs so I can keep carving lots and lots. Need to have that toolbox filled with burrs. Hopefully my next computer will be here soon and I can get those other digging videos I have for you guys and mining videos I have edited and put up. Ever so carefully, just to try and do it just right. Want to get that color out of there but not damage it. Don't want to damage the stone. finally got that little notch I was trying to get, but there's still lots of brown agate in there. Still lots of brown agate in there. Ah, burning my hand. Burning my hand. Bit closer again. More pretty green poking out of the stone. Beautiful thing. I mean, right now it feels like it weighs like a half a pound. My hands are really heavy at the moment, really sore. We're about 3 minutes from the 90-minute mark. Ugh. If you guys have any other questions, go ahead and spit them out. I'm going to roll through your text real quick, see if I didn't miss anything. There's Chuck. I can hook you up, he says. Grizzly71 said about 10 to 12 bits, most $12 or less. It's probably not sintered. Maybe they are, and they're sintered burrs, and they'll work really great. Definitely check into that. Responding, Grizzly had said something about 10 to 12 bits, most $12 or less, which I'm probably going to... I got emails from Mark today with his list of his beginner bit list, he said. Beginner bit list. Might be a good idea. Flame tip. Tiny, thin, pointy bit. They are talking about all kinds of stuff I don't know about, guys, to tell you the truth. Stone is really pretty to look at. I'm going to turn you around again real quick. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask them. That light is sort of bright. There's not much I can do about it except for maybe like block the camera like there. Now you don't have to look at that light. Just kidding. So I think I'm going to wrap this up right about here. It's been about 90 minutes. The stone, if I dry it off, let me dry it off and I can show you to you what it looks like dry. You've seen plenty of what it looks like wet. At this point, it's got a little bit of a better shape in some spots. I've gotten rid of some of the gouges. There's still a couple of little gouges and lines from the last burr I used, the first burr I used. And I'll touch that up some more next time I'm on. This is after drying it off a bit. So it has a pretty good shine to it. That burr I went to is definitely smoother than I had originally thought. Definitely doesn't seem to be a 100 to 220. Definitely seems to be more of like a 3 to 400. I was expecting it to be more aggressive and a bit more shaping. But once I was in there and going with it, I just decided to go with it. So this is where we're at right now. It's an amazing stone. Next time you guys see me back here grinding, I probably will not be grinding on this stone. When I go live grinding next time, I'll probably be grinding some windows for sale this weekend. And that's probably what I'll be doing, grinding some windows for sale this weekend. And I'll put up the listings for this weekend's 1-minute auctions. I'll put those up again here real soon. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you catch all of my live streams. Sometimes I just decide to pop up with a live stream really quickly out of nowhere. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you hit that bell notification and you click the notifier that says always in a little drop down box it has there. Modern Prospector's back just in time to say goodbye. Just about to leave Modern Prospector. This is where I am at the moment. Another video very, very soon. Good night, Modern Prospector.